Hello everyone, I hope you're all well, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lucy, but you can call me Luce. My name is Lucy, but you can call me Luce, and I am a weight loss coach for women who find dieting really, really hard. We strip it all back, make it easier, and make it not feel so much like a chore. This is part number 2 of my series of how to lose weight and keep it off in 2025. Because otherwise you might feel a little bit confused with certain things I'm talking about and certain things I'm referencing from the past video. So if you watched or listened to episode number 1, I hope you found it insightful. I hope you learned a lot from it. So now you have identified your barriers to consistency, whether that's self-sabotage, whether that is a time thing or whatnot. So now it's time to make a plan. And you need to have a clear vision to make that plan. So today we're going to talk about the power of manifestation and having that clear vision and having that exact direction you want to go to. Because if you don't have that vision, if you don't have that direction, wow, you're going to find it really hard to have that direction. If you have a job and there's like a dead end at the top, like if you don't see the growth and progression, you're just going to stagnate and you're not even going to bother. So you need to be exactly clear of what you want that end goal to be, how you want to feel, what emotions do you want to become, and completely owning that and almost start embodying that. So to start off with, having that clear vision, I want you to ask yourself these questions and feel free to write them down as well. Where do you want to be in 2025? It could be 6 months from now, it could be this time next year, but I want you to think you want to be in 2025. And I want you to get deep on this. Like, I want you to think, do you want to be? How do you want to act in certain situations, even reacting to things? I want you to think feelings, emotions. Maybe it's an event, maybe it's your wedding day. How do you want to feel on your wedding day? How do you want that day to look? Because too often as humans, and I think it's a natural instinctual thing, well, I know it's a natural instinctual thing, we always see the negatives in things. Like if we're something big and exciting coming up, we always think about, oh my God, what could go wrong? Like even on the note of getting married, you know, you have the bridezillas that always stress, panicked. What if this doesn't go to plan? What if this doesn't happen? And this needs to be done perfectly, yada yada. But rarely do we think, what could go well? And if we started thinking that way, which takes time, it's not like automatically you're jumping out of bed with all this toxic positivity, like, you know, we don't want the toxic positivity, go away. But you do want to be positive. We could all be in this life a little bit more positive, God damn it. So start being more positive. What is the best case scenario that could happen from this year? Like write that down. What's the best case scenario? And once you figure that out, start embodying it, start envisioning it, start thinking how you want to feel and start acting on those feelings and start owning those feelings. Like, you know the phrase, fake it till you make it? Kind of do that right now. Start embodying your future self. Because when you start acting on the traits that your future self has, i.e. becoming a bit more confident in more situations, even if you feel uncomfortable, maybe it is talking to yourself a little bit nicer, even though it feels uncomfortable. These are all going to be things that make you feel uncomfortable, but in order to grow to your future self, you need to start acting like her, okay? And you need to start embodying that. So with every single decision that you make from now until your end goal or just for life, keep reviewing what does your future self want. Start thinking, okay, why are you doing this? What do you need? And by doing this, is this gonna make me one step closer towards my future self? So let's take getting up in the morning to go to the gym, for example. It's cold morning, it's dark, you don't really want to go. Okay, so you're thinking about hitting the snooze button, your alarm, and rolling back to bed. Your future self walks in. Why are you going to the gym in the morning? Because it's the only time in the day that I can do it. What do you need? I need to get out of bed, I need to put on my clothes, I need to get in the car and go to the gym. Okay, sounds like a big effort. Okay, so will these actions together, will that align with my future self? Will it bring me one step closer to that? Hold that thought. Hello.
Right, most surprising what that is. It's
Thank
quite
you.
heavy.
Yourself in the past on your fitness journey, you punish yourself a lot with exercise, and that's not something that your future self is embodying. Or maybe the kids have kept you up all night, maybe you are sick, maybe you are not feeling 100%. That might be a time where you say, no, this doesn't align with my future self, because my future self honours rest and it honours how my body feels. And maybe that just means that you'll go and do some movement later on in the day. So it's not always going to be a yes. Sometimes it might be a no. But you need to know that deep down inside, you're honouring and acting what your future self wants you to do. And if you start living by that code, it's going to make it far easier to give yourself that bit of discipline and bit of motivation on times where it feels really difficult, because you've established your why, and your why is so strong for it because you really want to feel these feelings of your future self and embody her. And another thing that makes it really, really easy to kind of see this manifestation visually is with mood boards. So I love a mood board. I do one every single year, and I do it on Canva. There's an app called Canva, and then I print it out on paper, and I have it. The year I view, okay, what did I actually achieve this week? What this year? What didn't I achieve? And what's the vision for next year? And having that manifestation, it just makes your journey that more positive. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying that you want this out of life. Like, that is what life is for. Like, you're not here to please anybody else, you're here for you. So if your goal is weight loss, put it on there. If your goal is to hit a follower count, put it on there. Or you want to hit a promotion, put it on there. Like, mood boards are so personal to you. Like, you're not pleasing anybody else with this other than yourself. And you can put on photos of you that from the past, in moments that you felt confident, happy. You can put on quotes. You could put on visuals, like maybe like the way you want to look on your wedding day, maybe an aesthetic of your house, your interior that you want to redo on your house. Like, for example, me and my other half had just bought a house, so I put in a lot of little like interior designs on there. We've just got a dog, so like I would love to do some like some beach walks with my dog. So I've got that on my board too, like little Pinterest pictures. It's all very lovely. So that is a power of manifesting. And even if you didn't want to print it out, even if you didn't want anybody else to see it, okay, put it on your phone then. Put it on your phone wallpaper, so you have some sort of visualization every single day of what you want to become. And let me tell you, when you start that manifestation, when you start seeing that mood board come into life, it makes my life. It's the most rewarding thing ever. So definitely set a mood board to start manifesting your future self. So now we've addressed that. Now we've addressed, okay, the power of manifestation. We've addressed our barriers. We've addressed what our future self wants. Let's start I want to set some hard truths for you whilst you are starting to set out these goals. So obviously in the last video, we spoke about how setting range targets is super helpful. And when you are losing weight, toning up, you're lifting weights in the gym, actually when you build, maintain, okay, and you get newbie gains too. If you've never lifted weights before, you do get strong and build muscle relatively quickly. Not in a way that's going to make you bulky, but you do get the toning look fairly quickly. I'm not going to put a time frame on it because everybody's quickly in their brain is very different. But from the average person who's been lifting for years, you'll see results quicker than a person who's been consistent for a while. Therefore, you don't need to be punishing yourself with a lot of cardio or a lot of exercise. Like, you don't need to exercise intensely every day. In fact, that's actually quite negative stress on the body if you do that. So making sure you're setting realistic goals that you can realistically stick to and not put life on hold for it. Also nutrition, afternoon, 2 hours out of your day, having meals for the whole week. Your future self's going to thank you for that, even though it feels faffy on a Sunday to do it. That's when, again, give yourself that tough love of being like, okay, this aligns with my future self. Let's go, let's do the fatigue throughout the week. Or maybe think about those more convenient food choices. With the food choices that you have, okay, what's the highest in protein? How can I get the most fruit and veg in? Start being curious about that. And if you are busy in the week and you don't have time to go for a food shop, okay, book a regular weekly food shop slot and make sure that you book it and get everything on your order as consistently as possible. Walks, your gym sessions or home sessions, and planning out your meal prep as important as a work meeting, as a time spent with friends and family, etc. like itself. And if you don't see it with as much priority as work, you know, you're always going to be half-assing it. So you need to sit down on a Sunday maybe and think, okay, what are my uncontrollables? Kids, work, general other life admin. Okay, so along all of these things, how can I fit in my gym sessions, my meal prep, etc. Like planning when you are busy is the utmost importance, because if you don't see it with that importance, you think, oh, just go to the gym on this day, and then it gets to the end of the day, you're just like, oh, I'm too tired, or you wake up in the morning, you're just like, oh, I'm too tired. Like, you're literally cop blocking yourself. You need to start making this easier for yourself, and by doing that is pre-planning your time and being productive. Otherwise, you're just running around like a headless chicken. And the final one is making sure that you are getting back on track post like indulgent meal out, post donuts, spontaneous donuts at work or whatnot. A lot of people think, oh my God, I just had a donut, it's the end of the world, screw the diet, I'm starting to get, couldn't be further from the truth. The donut doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's your reaction after the donut that matters. So if you do react and go completely off the rails with it, then, you know, that's your prerogative. That's the results you're going to get. You're going to get those on and off yo-yo patterning results. So why don't you just say, okay, I ate a donut. Maybe that wasn't the best choice to have at the time, but I had it and I enjoyed it. I'm going to move on. What am I having for lunch? Oh, my meal prep, okay? So it's tone down the dramatics a little bit and actually realise, okay, eating these foods is not a big deal. Like, there's going to be times in life where you get like a little surprise with nutrition every now and then. Maybe you do drink too much at that at your friend's birthday. It's not the end of the world. We all do it. Just move on the next day and you'll be fine. It's not gonna make detrimental progress. Whereas if you make that your narrative and then, you know, you're hungover on Sunday, you eat lots of food, and then it rolls into Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and then the same thing happens on the weekend, you're just like, there's no point. You're getting into that negative spiral again that I said in video 1. So you need to ensure that you are creating that imperfect action, not being rigid with your diet, with your exercise. It's got to fit with your life if you want this to stick. So takeaways from this video: start manifesting your future self. Every decision you make, think of your future self. Then start making that plan. What's realistic to you? Start making sure you're prioritizing your time and focusing on that imperfect action. So that's the bits you need to work on now, and I'll see you again for the next video. Goodbye. Goodbye.